Scott does. Did you look in there? Yeah. These do not have a microphone. So are yours picking up off your original mic? Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna try it.
Hey, Jim, how's it going?
Hey, Eric.
All right. No crazy feedback.
Not for you. Feedback for you? It's not feedback. It's the millisecond delay. But that's good. It's not fine. It's fine. I can't fix that. Big risk is it picks up on my microphone and yours at the same time. When I talk? Yeah. Let's see. Can you hear me through your headphones? Oh, yeah. Okay. I mean, I can mute. Yeah. But if I talk and you're not muted, it's gonna get right.
All right, that's what we do. You can end up with that.
Hey, Scott.
Hey.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Scott, I'm just thinking for in the morning. Well, there's nobody here yet, so I don't know who we're showing. There's Eric. John Dave. Here, what if we point them at each other? But it does pick up when I talk. Picks up. Probably yours.
I went out there, brought the coals in, and I put the ash bag underneath the grill.
Oh, okay.
So if it rains, it'll get marginally wet.
Right.
Could be Scott's.
What?
No, it's yours.
Should I mute my microphone?
Could be, you're picking me up.
You're a mutant.
It was definitely Scott's I was picking up then.
Okay.
Now I'm not
Now-
muted.
Right now, I hear you. Hey Jim, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Jim?
Good, good. There's a bunch of us out in Maine. All of us that are currently connected are in the same room right now.
Oh,
Yeah, Eric, the guy that's waving, he's 18 inches away from me.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you're at the LTSP, what, a
Yeah.
conference?
Well, that's our justification for being here.
Oh, okay.
Years ago, we used to do this to actually develop LTSP, and I don't know, for the past 15 years, that's not what it's been. But we still come every year.
Hmm.
It's
Oh,
our
okay.
excuse.
So are you at a
And there's
hotel
Dave.
or
He's
something?
also well. It's a like a condo,
Oh, okay.
a suite.
Mm-hmm.
And Dave's here with us, and Scott
Hey, Dave.
Valdez, and there's 5 of us here.
Okay.
And I'm part of the Portland, Oregon Linux users group. So therefore, I'm qualified to attend this one.
All right. Nice to meet you. I don't think you're on mute there.
Am I on mute? I don't think so.
Dave,
No,
I hear you.
now you're not.
No.
I asked if you could hear me while I was muted.
Oh, the answer was no. This is a culinary delight here, Jim. It is, just hard to keep up with. The hits just keep on coming. Every dinner is better than the last one.
What's that? What are you referring to? Oh, Jim, you're on mute there.
Jim, you're not a vegan or a vegetarian, are you?
I'm not. No.
Oh, then you could join us sometime.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we should. It's just every night. It's just a food fest. Tonight we had picanha and hash browns, and it was excellent.
Hmm.
But
I'm
last
not-
night, we had pork shoulder that was to die for. And the night before that was Sunday gravy, spaghetti with Sunday gravy. And
Oh, nice.
tomorrow's pasta carbonara.
Hmm.
Thursday's short ribs. Yeah, we go all out when we come here.
A vegan
there's
might
Roller.
have trouble.
Yeah.
A vegan might have trouble here. I'm not sure what a
Yeah.
vegan would have eaten so far.
Yeah. Yeah. Thursday will be short ribs and lobster. Looking forward to that one. I mean, we're in Maine. We have to have lobster, right?
Yeah, sure. Is it reasonably priced there since it's so
Well,
plentiful?
last year I think we got it for about $7 a pound.
Oh,
we haven't talked to
wow.
the supplier yet this year to see.
What a deal.
I know. I know. Well, there's a couple places. We went to a retail place, and I don't know what it was, $16 a pound or something. But then the person that owns these sweets hooked us up with a supplier to get it much more reasonably. Last year, I think we bought 52 lobsters.
Wow.
Was it 52 lobsters or 52 pounds? I don't remember. But it was a lot, a big barrel of lobster. It's quite good.
Yeah.
Roller, it's good to see you out of bed this time.
Yep. I'm getting better by the day.
Good.
Just one step at a time.
Well, your volume is a little low there, Roller.
Let me adjust it. How's that?
That's
better.
better.
A little bit, yeah.
Yep.
Cool. But yeah, no, I doing good. Just
Good.
yeah, I had my surgery about a month ago, so
What'd you have done?
ACL.
Uh,
Yeah, I had a motorcycle accident and had to get that fixed. So
Where's
Yeah.
the ACL? Is that shoulder?
the knee. It's
Oh, the knee. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm thinking, what's the shoulder one? Cuff. Something cuff.
oh right. Rotator.
Rotator
cuff. Yeah.
Yep, no, thankfully I'm doing pretty good. So,
Good.
not too much to complain about.
I hope we get some people showing up. I sent out a bunch of announcements. Yeah, there's Gib.
Howdy, howdy.
Hi,
Hey,
Gib.
did you make it back to Texas? Oh, look at you.
I've just built this guitar from a little kit that I bought on Amazon.
Oh yeah.
Don't know if it's gonna work, but
You gotta,
it's
you gotta
building.
trim those strings. You're gonna poke somebody's eye out.
Yeah, well, I wanted to make sure I got everything working before I
Fair
start
enough,
being permanent to it, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm back in Texas. I've been here for a bit. All the really terrible things that were happening just got really bad, and now it's gotten better, you know. Like I
Yeah.
to get talk to my credit card company to see if I can get access to the account. My wife always took care of that. And
Yeah.
as soon as they found out that she had died, they canceled the account. So I didn't have a credit card for
Yeah.
like days.
Oh, they
So I'm
got
running
the
the bank. Well,
automated
the bank's
notice.
going to take 7 to 10 days to give me one. And so I was, you know, using cash for everything and worried that I was going to run out of money when I go to the grocery store and all that stuff.
Mm.
But I finally got that all figured out. Now I'm thinking,
Good.
okay, I'm going to have a second credit card, maybe a couple debit cards too, you know, set up stuff on PayPal, maybe set up one of those electronic wallets and try to figure out how all that stuff works, you know.
Sure.
So, you know, we've come a long way in that past 40 some years. I think maybe I should up my skills here a little bit.
Right. Oh, there's Richard. He's still connected.
Yeah, it's funny. This credit card company had us as credit folks for 30 years, right? So when they canceled my wife's credit card, they had to like start over. Apparently, they didn't know who I was. You know,
Mm.
I've been a customer of theirs for 30 years, had this excellent credit rating, and now I'm, you know, it's like I have to prove to them I'm who I am. You know,
Well, you still got your credit rating.
yes, I still have my individual credit rating separate from my wife's. Yes.
Right.
But like I say, you know, they give me a really small credit limit and stuff like that. You know, what is
Put the energy up there so we can go in that.
that you were breaking up? Say again.
I think Joe's just getting connected.
Sorry, I'm gonna mute. It's crowded in here.
Yeah.
Let's see, where's Wolf?
Kelly's is closed downtown, so I had to go to an alternate
Oh.
location. And then,
Change of
still to
plans.
my knowledge, there's a congressional candidate who's holding an event here. So yeah, it's liable to be super busy.
Yeah. Yeah. He's in Lansing, Michigan. Everybody's so quiet.
Finally got some cold down here in Florida.
You're in Florida?
Yep, down here in Florida, it's
I
it's
thought you were out in New Jersey.
20 degrees. No, just been down
Were-
here in the
Were you in Jersey for a while?
no, Salt Lake
I don't
City,
know.
and then Boulder.
Okay,
Colorado.
somehow I thought you were on the East Coast.
No, I came out here in 2020 to avoid all the. It was pretty chill out here when you can. Everybody's. And plus, like this winter is going to be insane. It's going to be so nice. It's just the weather's just going to be kind of like 70 something.
Yeah, shut up. Just shut up. Where in Florida are you?
Ocala.
Kind of south.
So about
south of Orlando.
An hour and a half from Orlando. It's about it's northwest.
Oh, okay.
Kind of inland and not quite Gainesville. Yeah, Gainesville's a little bit further up, but yeah, this is a good spot. It's not too much going on, and you got the forest, so that makes it nice.
76 here right now.
We're in Maine. It's 38. Yeah, it's a little chilly here.
And meanwhile, in Metro Detroit, it was 30 yesterday. We got a blast of cold air there. It's going to warm up. So we got a foretaste of winter here.
Same here. It's 47 right now. So we lost like 20 degrees just overnight. They were like warning people about a freeze warning and stuff because they're like, hey guys, you might think we're crazy, but it's gonna be freezing temperatures tomorrow. And everyone's like, nah.
I'm hoping Wolf shows up. I need him to talk about Readline.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, the problem is when your mic is on, I hear me too. Well, Wolf doesn't show up. I think we'll get Jim Peterson to talk about Readline because he did so well last month with FG and BG.
Oh, well, I don't know too much about the library itself. I have used its capabilities.
Well, I think that's kind of what we're going to talk about. There's a library that is used by so many things. I mean, we want to talk about what it does, not how to link to it. But we're not going to get started yet. We get it started about 6:40, so we got 8 minutes or so. So Joe, how many people you got there with you this month?
Well, there are just 2 of us here for this event, but there's like 30 people for the congressional.
Yeah, well, okay, we're going to count them as attendees.
Yeah, sure. They're in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully my speakers in the background won't be annoying to them. They don't actually start until 7, so but we'll see. If I drop off, you'll know we can't hear you.
Hey, Justin.
Thanks for right out.
There he is. Mr. Williams, good to see you, or see that you're here anyway. More of these guys got to turn on their cameras so we can actually see them. Joe, we can't hear you if you're talking.
Yeah, we got it off to the side because we're sitting at a high top.
Yeah.
I figured I don't have permission for anybody else to get recorded, so.
Yeah, right.
He depends on every time. Oh, he's just doing that for attention month. No, that's not what he's doing.
So everybody knows, I'm here, but I turn off my camera because I'm eating at the same time I'm here.
Okay.
And but when you're ready to have an announcement about Semco, I will just let me
Okay,
know.
good. Good. Well, you got about 8 or 10 minutes and we'll get to that. Carl, Carl's talking on the phone.
There, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Give me a call.
God damn it.
Who was that?
I think it was somebody who's called RSW.
Richard S. Williams. That didn't sound like his vocabulary. Yeah, man, we'll get you in there like this. Wave. No, this way. Yeah. Say hi to everybody. Let's see. Scott Whalen. Oh, you're muted.
That's when they want to work there. They want to work there. Now they have control. You need a whole week.
Yes.
Oh, I heard that.
Test.
Yeah.
Okay, mute. Can't mute. See, but
So what else is going on there? Well, before we get started with the meeting, anybody got anything?
mean, I've been learning how to control these AIs.
I'm not sure that's possible.
Yeah, you have to. I finally, one of my Python teachers came up with a good course, and it was just showing you how to dial them in and teach them what their rules are and what are the, like, because we use these tools all the time, and I mean, we use programming tools all the time, so we have all these choices. Like, I like to use this library. When I build stuff, I always build it to this style or this library, or I go to these specific documentation links to go dig through these docs, and you can teach it all those preferences. And once it knows all the preferences and all the little things that you like to do, then you can tell it, before you ask it any questions, you can program it what its personality is today for the task that it's about to perform.
Yeah.
And then once it's all locked in like that, then you could be like, all right, show me what you would do if you were going to do this. And then you look at the code and everything. You're like, okay, that's more like it. So that's the trick, is you can't just use these chatbots where you ask them a bunch of questions. I mean, you can, but it's pretty shot in the dark. But if you treat it like it's an employee and you're really specific about what their task is and what you want them to do, and you can make them read the docs. Literally, you could be like, this, make them read the docs, make them do all the stuff, and then they're pretty cool.
All right, well, it's 6:40. We should probably get started, eh? You guys ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Hey, thanks for coming to the November MUG meeting. We got a really good show for you, a really good meeting for you tonight. We've got Roller Angel. That was the voice you just heard. He's going to be talking about loading up alternate operating systems on your Android phones. We'll get to that in a couple of minutes. Should be really interesting. I'm an iPhone user, so I don't get to take advantage of it, but I know a lot of you guys are using Android. So this might be pretty cool. Before we do that, we're going to talk maybe very briefly about the Readline library. One of the guys that I was hoping would help us talk about it isn't here yet. I hope he shows up. If not, we'll figure something out. I'm starting to go through the backlog of YouTube live videos and editing them so that we can put them on our videos page. And it's challenging. And I got a question for you all. We try to do 2 topics in a night. We do a real short one, like a simple Linux command or something, and then a longer presentation. And I'm kind of leaning towards that should be 2 separate videos in our MUG YouTube page. The option is we can instead just make one video for the entire meeting. But I think for people looking for information, I think it might be better to be 2. You guys have any thoughts on that? If it should be a single video or multiple videos? Yeah, Gib?
I'd say make it as simple as possible, so you don't edit and cut or anything. Just dump the thing live.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I think there's a lot of crap in our meetings that really, if we're trying to teach people things, I mean, yeah, there's that side. Make it as easy as possible. Just take the live video and copy it over to our page. So that's an option.
At least a chapter marker, I think.
So one video with chapter markers.
Yeah, some marker to identify the distinction between the 2.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think about all the business stuff up front? Because I turned on the recording at like 6:20. So there's good 20-25 minutes of crap that isn't really, I think, part of the content we're trying to put out there. And sometimes at the end we trail off and we start talking about all kinds of random stuff.
Yeah, I personally think that's it's fine to cut that. Maybe from the point of who we are and looking for members, because some people might join as members from outside.
Yeah. Oh, so I could leave that in there. But you think it's one video per meeting instead of multiple?
I think
easier
so.
For me. Okay.
I think so, and just mark the points where they transition.
Okay, then, either way, I like that idea, but I think as we start each section of the meeting, as we start the, short command thing, and then we do the longer presentation, we need to have a clear boundary of when that starts. Like sometimes we just sort of roll right into it and then just start talking. I think what I'm gonna try to do is pause for a sec and then give an introduction and then start that section of the meeting. I think it's especially important for the main topic because, we have a speaker show up. I think we sort of owe him a little bit of respect to give him a decent intro.
Yeah, I agree.
And then start the meeting. And then that's the chapter marker would start at that introduction. And then we go into that part of the meeting. I think I'm going to try to do that. It may take a few tries to get it right.
It might be good to give the speaker an opportunity to make sure they're sharing their screen properly and their audio is all set up correctly. So that way, when you do introduce them, they can just
we should
start
go through
immediately.
that. Yeah, go through that process before the introduction, and then do it. I like that idea. That way, when I'm looking through the video in my editor, I can spot that. As soon as the screen goes live, that's when I know we're close. So yeah, we'll try that. Okay, well, first let's get through some of the normal business. I think we can start off with Dave. You're here. You want to talk about membership?
There we go. I am here. Yeah, memberships. We still have memberships. At one time, they were a big part of our organization because we had some real expenses like renting a room. We don't have those big expenses right now, but we still have memberships available if you would like to become a dues-paying member. It's $50. That used to be a year. Now it is sort of indefinite until we have expenses again or run down the money that we have in the till. They go on indefinitely. So if you'd like to become a dues-paying member, you can go to our website and you can pay with PayPal or contact Dick Williams and he'll take any kind of money you want to send him. You do not have to pay any money or join to become or to participate in the meetings. These are open meetings. Everybody is enthusiastically welcomed to the meetings. But if you want the feeling of one of the belonging people that are putting it on and stuff like that, go ahead and join, and we'd like to have you.
Thanks, Dave. Groups in the area, or not even, maybe not even in the area, as Gib's got his hand up. Gib, go ahead and unmute and tell us about MD Lug.
Yeah, so I'll post something here in just a moment. I'm just copying and pasting from the website. You can go out to mdlug.org. That's been our website for a long, long time. And we have basically a Saturday, the second Saturday of the month, at noon Eastern time, and we talk about all kinds of technical stuff, but we try to get around to things related to computers and open source and things of that nature, but we'll wander off into all kinds of technical stuff. So the brief description that I gave here is that pass keys and things like that, where some of the discussion will go into that type of thing a little bit more. And then Pat, who is like he's got a master's in security, computer security or something like that, or doctorate or something like that, and he's talked about a lot of interesting things. And so he's going to talk about steganography, I don't know, whatever how it's pronounced, hiding files inside of other files. So it'll be an interesting discussion, I think. So please plan to join us. That's December 13th, Saturday at noon. Thank you.
Great. Richard, why don't you unmute your microphone? Tell us about SemiSlug.
Yes.
Or SEMCO, rather.
Right.
SemiSlug was an old group.
Computer Organization. Our website is semco.org. And we have 2 presentations every month. The first month could be about Windows, could be about an Android phone, smartphone. and interesting topics about computing. We've even had presentations on AI, and we're looking towards having another one on AI by someone named Northano Borenstein, and you can look him up on Wikipedia. I the date for that hasn't been set yet. The next month, we don't have the exact presentation lined up yet, but it'll be lined up soon. And we always meet the second Sunday of each month. The second Sunday of each month. And we have, beyond our first presentation, we always have a Linux presentation done by supercomputing expert Sharon Kirwani. So there's no reason why a Linux user wouldn't want to attend. And also, if you come to our main meeting, you learn about other computing topics besides Linux. And I'd not be surprised if a Linux user once in a while gets a call from somebody that needs help with their Windows. And if you come to Semco meetings and we talk about Windows, guess what? You'll be a little more up to speed on that, even though your favorite operating system is Linux. It is true that Linux is the most secure operating system, but a lot of people still use Windows.
All right, thanks, Richard.
Jim, I've got one real quick.
Yeah.
I'm going to post it in the chat. The Eastern Michigan Python user group. We usually meet on the second Saturday of every month. We're on Meetup, and you can see us on the i3 Detroit calendar. That's where we usually meet as well, but sometimes we go to a bar instead.
And what's that called again?
Eastern Michigan Python user group, EMPUG.
All right, cool. That should be good. EMPUG.org or
Yep. I posted a link in the chat.
Okay, great, thank you.
Maybe we should add it to the website.
And if you're up here,
Yeah, let's definitely get that on the website. Yeah,
if you're up
Justin,
here in
for sure.
Lansing,
you've got
Lansing.gov.
access to the website. You can do that. What was that? Who was I talking?
If you're up here in Lansing or outside in the mid-Michigan area, Lansing.gov for the clearinghouse.
Okay, cool. And there you list all the groups in your area. So that's good. This is a good opportunity for me to toot my own horn a little bit. Wolf and I are doing a podcast twice a month, runtimearguments.fm. And there's 2 episodes since the last meeting. We have an episode on terminals, which is really kind of goes back to the far back history of computer terminals and kind of moves its way up to the present. You might find that entertaining. Not sure you'll learn a great deal, but it's maybe entertaining and enjoyable. And then the most recent episode was last Saturday, and that was Wolf talking about essential knowledge for being a programmer. And he gets into all kinds of details about some pretty cool stuff. So you check that out, runtimearguments.fm. Any other business we want to cover? Oh, future meetings. The December meeting, I don't have the date in front of me, but the second Tuesday in December, we're talking about IPv6. In our podcast, Wolf and I did a whole episode on IPv6, and we decided to sort of turn that into a full video meeting. So we're going to be talking about a lot of that stuff in December. I don't have this firm yet for January, but my brother is the director of in-flight entertainment at JetBlue. He lives in New York City and works for JetBlue, and he's in charge of the whole freaking thing. You know, JetBlue's got the in-flight Wi-Fi and TVs on the back of live TV on the back of everybody's seat, and he's going to tell us how that works. And he's agreed to do it in January, but I really got to get him nailed down and have him send me the abstract of his talk. But that should be really interesting to see how they do Wi-Fi and TV and stuff on airplanes. So that's coming up hopefully for the January meeting. And I don't think we have anything firm after that. I think we've got a few really good ideas though, and we'll keep you tuned in on that. All right, so let's at this point let's get into a short discussion on Readline. Anybody here have any real experience with that? Do you even know what I'm talking about? Y'all probably use it without realizing it. It's things like being in the shell and hitting the up arrow to get history. Well, it's not so much getting the history, but editing the history. I sort of use it without thinking about it. How about you guys? I know you're all using it. Anybody want to talk about it?
I can give a short demo, I suppose.
Okay, that'd be great, Jim.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Wolf. I was counting on Wolf to sort of be here and help us out, but I don't see him here. Yeah, but Jim, you're gonna come to the rescue, and I appreciate that.
Okay, so I'm going to send a request to share here.
Hang on a second. I have to allow that. Let me see here. Share screen. Okay, you should be able to now.
All right.
Something is going to happen. There we go.
Okay. So I'm just in a standard bash shell here, and I just did a history. And these are the commands that I have run just in the last 15 minutes or so. So then you can use the up arrow to go backwards in the history. That's one thing. And if you would like to edit the line, you can move over and put some characters in or delete some characters with backspace. Go to the end here with the end key, and then to delete the line, you can use Control U. And I have this, if I do Control R, that does a reverse search in the read line history that's in the history command there. So I can do like a man, I can start typing man. Oh, maybe
you don't
see. Okay, that's the first command backwards. I installed the GDB command. I just wanted to see if GDB, my version, had the read line installed. If it was compiled with read line, and it is. So these commands are these arrow commands and Control U and such as that are also available then in GDB and many other commands that you run at the command line in Linux. So if I press Control R again, it'll go back to another. That's the one I wanted there. I wanted man read line, and then I can just press Enter to accept it. And then here you see an outline of the library that's used for the read line properties that are available.
Yeah, if you wanted to include readline capabilities in your programs, you can link against the readline library.
Yeah, this one here.
Here's some information on that.
Include readline.h in your C code.
Yeah, if you're programming in C.
Yeah, and when you compile a program using the make command, a lot of times there are options. You can set a variable to also include the read line or not include it. And I think pretty much what I've seen is that the read line is always included for this convenience, so that you have all these things available. Otherwise, when you type something and then you press backspace, you don't get a backspace. Well, you would get a backspace, but like if you press the up arrow or the down arrow, you'll see a bunch of garbage like escape codes if you don't have read line installed. So like if I go into GDB and type help, and then maybe I want some like help on running commands. Then if I use the up arrow, if I have the read line included in my GDB, and when I press arrow, I should see the previous commands. Otherwise, I would see some garbage like something like something like that, some escape character. Yep. So that's what basically I think everybody has seen it in Bash. That's where you would usually encounter it, and you can use Control R, like I said, to search your previous commands.
And then you had an input RC file, a .input RC file to control its behavior. And I know one of the big things is you can have Emacs mode or VI mode for your line editing.
Yep.
And the default is Emacs mode.
Oh, is
And
it?
that's how yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So the commands you use like to move back and forth along the line. And I never remember what these commands are. I've got a cheat sheet, but I'm not home right now to have that. It's sitting on my desk.
There's two of them right there. Control A for beginning of line, Control E for end of line.
Right. Those are Emacs keystrokes, key bindings.
Yep.
You can turn on Vim key bindings so that you could hit 0 to get to the beginning of the line and $sign to get to the end.
Okay.
And a whole lot of other, field editing, change a word, all that kind of stuff. Otherwise, it's all Emacs, and I never remember what the commands are, and I never change it because I log into a lot of different systems all the time, and it's more important for me that all the systems are consistent. So I consistently can't remember the commands to edit words in the line and stuff.
Yeah.
But,
I think you would have to have an escape character to enable the VI mode, like go to beginning of line. And then if I press 0, it just enters a 0.
Yeah, you got to get into the right mode in order to edit the lines.
Yeah.
But
I've actually, so you control how it is default set by specifying in your .inputrc file.
Okay.
And there are specific commands that will make readline switch back and forth between the two modes. And I actually made aliases for them and set a variable and put them in my prompt so that when I'm in Bash, I can see whether I'm in VI or Emacs mode. But in Z Shell, it's not built with readline. It emulates it, but it doesn't emulate it well enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's another feature of the readline library here, since it's in Bash. When I want to enter input RC, I could just type in and then tab completion. I didn't like the INP, maybe. There it is. And I suppose if I just use IN and then tab, it'll show me that there are actually two files that start, there's a directory there that starts with IN. So I can be a little more specific and then press tab. That's part of readline there that allows that tab completion.
The tab completion, yeah.
So there.
Yeah, we got a question in the chat from Ron. How did you get the man command to colorize the documentation displayed?
Oh,
I will tell you how. It's because you're not using less or more for your pager. You have set your pager to be something that understands syntax.
No, I don't have it set, so there must be some default. This is on CachyOS, so they have some default, I guess.
Run that man command again so we can all see.
Yeah. Yep, it's pretty nice. Cachy has the default set up here that has this really nice color. I'm not sure what to. I could probably do a PS to find out what it's using for the pager. I'd have to start another shell to do that.
Yeah, probably a quick Google search would show us how to get colorized man pages.
Or BG.
Yeah. Let's see here. How to get colorized man pages in Bash Linux.
With the less term cap variables.
Okay. Less. I think I only have one variable there. Yeah, less is dash capital R I. Raw control characters. I think that might allow the color to get through that.
Well, the
Oh,
ANSI
what's your
SPR
term
takes
cap
it-
file say?
Or your term and echo dollar term. It's probably X term 256. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Then echo dollar color.
Okay, I'm using read line here to do COL something. I only have columns.
Okay, so you don't have a
set right
color.
now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, lots of utilities use readline. I spent a lot of my time in PSQL, and that uses the readline library. It's Postgres command line interact. It's the client to talk to the database. If you do Perl, you're familiar with the CPAN tool for fetching packages. That uses readline. I know there's a lot of things that use it that you might not even think about.
I'm trying without the dash
does.
R. See what happens here. Oh, it's still got the color. Okay.
Yeah, still got the color.
So it comes from
cool.
somewhere else, I guess.
Ron, do you not have color when you do man pages? I'm gonna just try it here real quick. Hang on a second. I've got I can bring up a terminal. Yeah, on Mac it's not colored. And on Linux I'm not getting colors. So somehow you're getting them and I'm not. But
Well, I have noticed I run or have run many different Linuxes, and most of them have like some boldface instead of color. So color Cache OS, I think, is somehow doing it, and I'm not sure how.
Setting colors. Yeah. Do you have less? Do you have a file .less term cap?
I don't think so. Let's see. .less term cap capitals.
Yeah.
That's just that's an example. I
Yeah,
think.
it is. I was just wondering if in your home
Let me see here.
directory you have that.
No.
No. Okay. All right. Anybody else have anything they want to add? Wolf, you want to show us your input RC file, or is there too much other stuff going on in there?
No, I'm happy. Happy to show you that file. Hang on. Let me share. Is it okay if I share?
Sure. Yeah. I'll stop sharing here.
Thanks, Jim.
Yep.
For showing us that. Once again, you stepped up. I appreciate that.
Sure.
Is this readable, or should
can you increase your font size a little bit? That's better.
How's that?
Yeah, that's good, I think. So you're in VI mode.
I am in VI mode, and if I actually run bash,
because you were in
the wrong bash.
Yeah. Yeah, get out of the Mac supplied bash.
Okay, so you can see from my prompt that I'm in bash and using VI mode. And I can switch by using these little aliases I made. So I can say, for the command line, use Emacs. And when I'm in VI mode, my command line starts with a plus when I'm in insert mode. Let me go back to VI. And so here I'm typing something, and the plus means I'm in insert mode. And then
That's the
if I
default.
hit escape, the colon says I'm in normal mode.
Like if you were in VI or Vim.
Right. So I can say Shift F D and semicolon and go back. I can
Right.
say dollar. Oops, that was insert. Sorry. I can say dollar to go to the end. I can say 0 to go to the beginning. I can say Shift A to go to the end and start appending. I
Right.
can say Shift I to go to the beginning and start inserting.
Oh, that
So
looks so much more
I
powerful
happen
for
to
me.
like VI mode.
Yeah, and you can do 3x and it'll delete 3 characters and all those kinds of things.
Yeah, a thing that I do all the time is that I will say escape. So now I'm in normal mode, and then I'll hit V, and V opens up the command line in whatever dollar visual or dollar editor if you don't have that
Okay.
set.
Yeah.
So that would I think it defaults to VI if you haven't touched it at all. I have set it to Helix, which is a sibling to VI, so it's all the same. And you'll get back whatever you
when you save it, it
leave
runs
that
it.
as. If you right quit it, you'll get what you put there. If you don't right quit it, you'll get whatever it was when you went in. It's not like you don't get anything. It's
Right.
like FC.
Right. So when you leave the editor, it runs whatever was left in the buffer.
Correct.
Yeah. Cool.
All right.
Cool.
That's what I got.
Thanks, Wolf.
I'm going to
Appreciate
stop
that.
sharing.
All right. All right. Any more questions about that before we move on? Guys, you all happy? All right. Let's see, where'd Roller go? Roller, you want to test your screen, make sure you can
Yep. Let me give it a shot.
present?
How's that?
That looks good.
Hide this thing. Cool.
All right, just leave it there for a second and I'll try and introduce you. So tonight's main meeting is Roller Angel. He's going to be talking about keeping your Android secure and snappy. It's going to show us Graphene OS and Lineage OS. And Roller's given several talks in the past. It's always interesting. So at this point, Roller, if you're ready, I think we're ready for you to take it.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Roller Angel. I'm down here in Florida. Today, just talking about Android, and I've been using it for a long time. I've got some notes in the slides about it, but it's the difference with the iPhone and Android. I would say the biggest difference would be, with the Android, you could dig all the way down as far as you want and kind of mess with. You can change the bootloader, like picture that comes up when you boot up your Android. You could take the manufacturer logo out of there and put your own logo in there. I always thought that was so cool. But at some point, you gotta decide if this is just a play thing or if you want to use it on a regular basis. And if you want to use it on a regular basis, then you start to worry about security. Because if you're just modding your phone a whole bunch, you probably want to root it so that you can change that boot logo or you can do all those crazy things. But the implications of running it as root on a regular basis, you start to get worried that maybe an application is going to do something and that you weren't expecting that mess with you. So then you start worrying about security, and that's where some of these start to come in. Is the ROM that you're using, is it patched? All those things. So let's go get started. So I'm a systems administrator. I love open source. been modding since about 2009. I had the Motorola Droid. That was back when you could replace the batteries easily in your smartphone, so that was nice. So you could have a couple extra batteries with you all the time, and I think they nailed it with those phones early on. They had memory cards in them, and it was really nice. So I mean, if you wanted more memory in your phone, you just got a couple extra memory cards, and you wanted a bigger battery, you just got a couple extra batteries. You didn't have to buy a whole new phone. Currently, I'm using the Graphene OS on my Pixel 8, and it's been running great. It's a really good one for a daily driver, I would say. I'm passionate about digital privacy and security, and I've tried dozens of ROMs, and Graphene's a good one for the daily. And tonight I'm going to just share kind of what I've learned over all these years with Android. Oh man, where's my, go to my next. Okay, sorry, my slides got stuck. Okay, so what's the problem with stock Android? The issue is this bloatware. The manufacturers would make deals with Android about, hey, when a user gets this phone, we want our applications on it, and we don't want them to be able to take those off. And we want them running all the time so we can, get our valuable data or whatever they were trying to do. And that consumes the storage and resources on your device. And then, the manufacturers weren't really thinking about privacy, I would say. So it was more of an afterthought. And after a few years, the manufacturer doesn't even update any of that stuff anymore. They just abandon it. So then your device is sitting there with abandoned software on it that's vulnerable. And, then they're kind of forcing you to just have to upgrade your phone to get a new phone, right? So custom ROMs would address these kinds of issues. You don't have to get rid of perfectly good hardware before it's actually, been used up. Your device doesn't have to get slower over time because the bloatware and stuff running in the background is just getting older and older. Who knows what it's doing? Oh man, what's wrong with my slides? I think I have to use the over arrows. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so there's this thing called the Android open source project. That's where all the custom ROMs started with. So Google released this code under the Apache license, and just it allowed anybody to build their own Android variant. And so that's actually how Samsung was able to create their own versions. And it's the same way that Graphene OS and Lineage OS exist. So think of AOSP, or Android Open Source Project, kind of like the Linux kernel. It's the bare bones that all these customizations can be done on for a specific need or operating system for a phone. So what's Graphene OS? Graphene OS is privacy and security focused mobile operating system, right? It's Android. It's built on AOSP, but it's tweaked a lot. It's actually tweaked so much that it's way more hardened than your regular Android. So they kind of went all the way down to the kernel and system level with a goal of how do we minimize the attack surface? How do we keep the applications kind of in their own lane, and while trying to maintain compatibility with most Android apps. When people talk about Graphene, usually they're thinking get Google out of the operating system, which is, that's what it is by default when you install it. They kind of de-Googled it for you, but you can put some of the Google Play services back in a sandbox way. So if you want to use your Google stuff, at least it doesn't have as much access as it did if you were running it on a non-hardened phone. So Graphene implements a whole slew of security enhancements. They've hardened their memory allocator, so it makes memory exploits much harder. The app sandboxing tries to keep the apps from messing with each other. You get granular control over the sensors and the network access per app. So they present it like that's the case with regular Android, but Graphene just takes that even further. And then the auto reboot feature will lock your device if it's left unlocked. And then no Google services, right? Like I was saying. So you can get them if you need them to. And then it also does this auto update thing where typically with these ROMs, you're going to want to keep checking to see if an update came out. And then when there is an update, then you just go through and install it and then reboot your phone. But with Graphene, you don't have to check for updates. They get pushed to your phone. So anytime update's available, it's on your phone. So what devices is Graphene on? Pixels, right? The problem with that you're going to face with trying to support a bunch of different phones is just endless complexity of the different phones, and if you're really trying to harden and customize Android, you've got to decide what resource you have available and what problems that you want to have. So they decided to pick, let's just do Pixel because it's got hardware security that's super strong, and it's easy to unlock the bootloader. The manufacturer's not trying to prevent us from using this phone. Google, what they do when you unlock the bootloader is they just have a message at the beginning that they don't let you overwrite, like right when the phone first turns on, before any of the logos come on or anything. The message will tell you that, hey, this phone has been modified. Go to this Google link if you want to know about that. They're basically just warning people. But let's see. So the other cool thing about Graphene is that they will extend the life of your phone, right? So Google's only promised I'm not sure how many years they promised for the Pixel 8, but I know with Graphene OS, I'm going to have support for a long time, beyond Google's official timeline. Okay, what are the trade-offs? So the Graphene makes a lot of trade-offs. Focus on security. So device support, right? You must own a Pixel. App compatibility is pretty good. But some apps do require Google Play services. So if you require Google Play services, then either you don't use the app or install the sandbox version of Google Play. Banking apps work and some don't, right? It depends on if they put a rule in there or not. Like there's like a Google Play Store can do some sort of an integrity check on your phone, and a developer can decide whether or not they'll continue if that check doesn't pass. So some apps won't run, they'll just crash, and other ones will work fine. So and then you need to understand what you're doing with the system. So you might need to read the docs a little bit more. It's not as straightforward as a stock Android. But once you get the hang of it, it's great. Okay, so who should use Graphene? it's ideal for obviously privacy conscious users. They just want maximum security. So I'd say it's good for like a daily driver. Like hey, I just want a phone that's not giving away everything. Or um, if it wants access to my sensors, it's gonna have to ask me, and I'm gonna have to allow it. That kind of thing, right? So it's excellent for security professionals, or anyone facing real threats. Tech enthusiasts, I think, love it. It's not for everybody, right? If you need Google Pay, like you want to pay with your phone, or if you're trying to play games and you're not going to be able to play the games that have anti-cheat, those type of things. So you might be frustrated. And then obviously you have to have a Pixel too, so that might be a no. That might be a reason why you don't want it. So if you don't have a Pixel, just use Lineage OS instead. So what is Lineage OS? So they used to have this thing called CyanogenMod. So Lineage OS is the spiritual successor to CyanogenMod. So that's where all the custom ROMs in the early 2010s are coming from, with CyanogenMod. It was really cool. I remember, you can make your phone feel and look like anything that you can imagine. You could change every aspect of it. It was pretty fun, wild times. But where Graphene OS focuses on security, Lineage OS focuses on customization. So and user freedom, like they want to let you shoot yourself in the foot if that's what you so desire, right? But they let you strip out all the bloatware. They give you all the control you could ever want. You could extend the lifespan of really old devices. So like in here, I've got a Google Pixel 4 XL, which has long since been abandoned by the manufacturers, but still running modern Android operating system. And so I've been able to get a lot more life out of it than I otherwise would have been able to. So they're up to like over 190 devices that they support. Okay, so here's their features, like no bloatware. They let you do the granular permissions thing. They will let you do root access if you want. You used to have to install these apps called like Super SU or Magisk, or there were like little hacks that once you got a ROM on your phone, then you'd have to root it if you wanted to. Rooting it was what was allowing you to go and change the bootloader, or the boot logo, and really dig into the actual device parameters and mess with things. But you gotta be careful, because right here I've got a device that got less than a year usage out of it because it died. I modified it a little bit too much, and it ended up overclocking, and it was running too hot, and I guess it just burned up the internals of it, unfortunately. And on this one, I wasn't running Lineage OS. I was running Sailfish. So there are other ones, but the problem with some of these other ones is like Sailfish is they can go a little too far and burn your phone up. So Lineage and Graphene I haven't had any issues with, like hardware, but I have had hardware issues with Sailfish, unfortunately. So they have a cool theme engine, so you can built in, just customize the how it looks. They have performance profiles to help you with keep your old battery going, and they get monthly security updates. So even on an old phone, you still have your monthly security patches. And they have this micro G thing, which just lets you install Google Play type of services. Oh, I need to stop hitting over, sorry. Okay. So yeah, here's some of the manufacturers, right? OnePlus, the Google phones, Samsung phones, Motorola phones, and more. Right, some devices from way back in 2015 are still good, which is awesome. So Lineage OS is excellent. It'll get you any of the Motorola phones from the last like 8 years. So just check the wiki to see if your device is on there before you attempt to do an install. So what are the requirements? You need to unlock your bootloader. There should be support in the wiki for specific instructions on how all that works. So what's the reality? Lineage OS has to make trade-offs to support all those devices, so it's not security hardened like Graphene OS. It's more about taking that bloatware that I was talking about that the manufacturer might install on your phone and never let you uninstall. You know, it's about taking all that out and then adding security. So there's a thing called safety net, which you know often fails, so you might not be able to use Google Pay or some banking apps. The camera quality, so it turns out a lot of these manufacturers will they'll do like the hardware, their camera is pretty good, but then the actual software of the camera app that they provide you is super important. And when you flash this stuff and you don't have the original camera app anymore, because with their proprietary algorithms built into it, then you might have just a not as high quality camera, unfortunately. So and you might just lose features like Samsung's Dex thing that lets you control your, you know, share your screen on the TV and stuff like that. So also installing Lineage OS will typically void warranties. And you also need to be able to use ADB and Fastboot and a couple of command line tools for to control your phone from your computer when you're first trying to set it up and stuff like that. So who should use Lineage? I mean, it's perfect for extending device lifespan. So I would say anybody that's got an old phone that they want to bring back to life, maybe you could use it as a radio in your car or whatever. You could find a use for it. You know, if you like to customize things like me, then you'll love all the options. You know, if you want a de-Googled experience on your phone, but you don't own a Pixel, Lineage is your best bet. It's not as, you know, just works as a standard stock Android, so I wouldn't recommend it for people who just want their phone to just work without having to dig into it a little bit. If you're a heavy camera user on your phone, I probably wouldn't recommend it. And also if you're afraid of voiding your warranty. Okay, so side by side comparison, right? This is Graphene OS and this is Lineage on the right. So you can just do a quick review there. Lineage has a larger community, but both of them provide regular updates. Graphene OS is really fast with security updates, which is nice. Recently, they've come out with some embargo thing that you can subscribe to where even if there's a security patch that's available, but it hasn't, they're just always on the cutting edge. They're always trying to figure out ways to get you security patches faster, so you can kind of subscribe to more frequent security updates, even if they're not generally rolled out, which is nice. They might protect you from something. So security wise, Android provides baseline protection, but often includes vulnerable bloatware. Lineage will improve security by removing the bloatware and giving you updates, but it doesn't add hardening. And Graphene's in a league of its own with extensive kernel hardening, and memory protection and app sandboxing, but that took a lot of device specific. They're using a lot of the built-in hardware that comes in a Pixel, so they need that hardware there on the phone in order to pull off a lot of their security tricks. So yeah, if security is your big one, Graphene. If it's not end all be all, Lineage is nice. So how do you install this stuff? It varies by the ROM you're trying to install, and also it varies by the device. But generally, here's the high level overview. Don't wing it. Read the official guide. Verify that your device is supported. Remember the bricked phone, right? Try not to brick your phone. The best chance you can get to not, and bricking your phone just means yesterday this was a phone, today it's a brick. It's no longer a phone. Looks like a phone, but its best functions now as a door stopper. So basically back up everything, you know, so you don't lose anything. Unlock the bootloader will wipe your device, right? So don't just casually start trying to dig into this and then realize that you just erased your phone on accident. So realize your phone needs to be erased. You have to enable OEM unlocking and developer options, and then you can use some fast boot commands to unlock your bootloader. Graphene OS has a cool web installer that makes all this really easy. Lineage OS typically does the the good old, put your device into a fast boot mode, which is a special USB mode when you plug it into your computer that you can type a command and basically send the ROM file directly and unlock your bootloader just over USB. So you flash the ROM, you reboot, and then you configure your phone. So just remember, bootloader unlocking will erase everything and will most likely void your warranty once you unlock your bootloader. So what do you need? Supported device, and I'm throwing in here with more than 80% battery. When you mess with these phones a lot, you'll start to realize that the battery being able to be charged is also powered by software. And so it's not like you can just have your phone plugged in and while it's doing all this like hard rebooting and booting up again and doing things, there can be times where there is no active charging happening. Just because the device hasn't loaded up whatever module that allows the charging to work. So you're going to want some battery to be able to support it during those critical times, because you don't want to let your phone die while it's in the middle of flashing, because it might not wake up again. So use a quality USB cable. I didn't realize this for a long time because this is way, late 2000, end of the 2000s, right? Early 2009. And I thought, USB cable was a USB cable, but turns out they're not all built the same, and they don't, they may look the same, but they don't even support the same thing sometimes. So find a quality USB cable, preferably the one that came with the device, if you still have it, because a cheap cable will cause you mysterious problems and random things, and just switching to a better cable, all of a sudden you're not having those issues. So keep that in mind. You need Android platform tools installed on your operating system, which that's where you get that ADB into fast boot from. They're just command line tools that let your computer communicate with your phone. So Windows users are going to need USB drivers. So you download the ROM for your exact model, look for the device code name. They have all these different names that the devices aren't just called like Pixel 4 XL. There's some special like code name for it. So just make sure you've looked at the wiki and you've compared the code name for the ROM with your device model and make sure it matches. And then just be comfortable with following the instructions precisely. This isn't hard, but it requires attention to detail and you have to do things in the right order. And it might take you a few tries. So you need to be able to realize at what step can I start over and at what step is there no going back, right? So common mistakes are the wrong ROM, right? Like you flashed a ROM that wasn't meant for your phone, or the device names are confusing, so that's an easy way to get the wrong one. Maybe install something for a different phone on yours and then it doesn't work anymore. You shouldn't worry too much though, because the ROMs get installed, and if you have a problem with it, you can just put your phone back into you can go back to the recovery and you can start over again. So low battery during flash can break your device. Bad USB cable can cause issues. Do not ignore the warnings and the guides. They're there for a reason. And don't rush. Read the whole guide first. Do a practice run with your ADB commands and make sure everything works. Don't just you can lose track of what step you're on if you're not thinking this through and you're doing it if you're reading the guide and you're trying to do something and then reading the guide and trying to do something instead of reading the full guide first and planning your attack, you might forget what step that you left off on your phone, and then that could also get you into some trouble. So just set aside some time where you're not going to be distracted. And then so here's some commands, right? Like you can check for your connection by just typing ADB devices and you should see your device listed. You can type ADB reboot bootloader and your device should reboot to the bootloader. And then here's how you can verify that fast boot is working. In fast boot mode, you're kind of controlling your phone directly, so you can in the guides usually they'll tell you exactly what commands you need to run, but I'd recommend making sure all these commands work as normal and solve any problems that might come up. So this is a good dry run to go through and make sure you don't see.
We're typing those on the desktop, right?
Yeah, so you're not typing this on the phone itself. This would be you install the Android platform tools on Mac or Windows or Linux, and then you would run these commands, and they should confirm that you installed those tools correctly. If you're getting errors running any of these commands, you need to investigate and fix those errors. So on Windows, you probably need to install some drivers. On Linux, you might need to fix some permission issues. But generally, once it's all working, these commands will return without error. So I thought I'd walk you through after the installation what happens. So it's really exciting. You just flashed your phone, and but now it's not coming up, right? So you're like, oh no, did I break it? What's wrong? Just be patient. You give it a minute, maybe give it 10 minutes. It's just doing a bunch of first boot stuff. So after a while, it'll come up, and then on Graphene OS, you need to set a PIN or a password, which is interesting. When you first boot, if your phone's completely powered off and you turn it on, Graphene OS will require you to enter your PIN. And it won't show what buttons you're pushing when you type. Like, it's a really basic keyboard at the beginning, so it doesn't. So someone's looking over your shoulder, they're not gonna be able to see what your PIN is, or it's not gonna make an animation of the key you pressed when you pressed it. So they do that, and then your first thing you're gonna have to do is configure all your security settings, install the apps that you want. If you're not using Google Apps, then you're gonna need an app store. So there's one called Aurora Store for anonymous Google Play store type of access, or there's F-Droid. F-Droid is an app store that has only open source apps in there. Both ROMs work great with F-Droid or Aurora Store, so you can just pick whichever one you want. And then if you're on Lineage OS if you're planning on using Google services, follow that part in the guide that shows you how to install the micro G apps, because you have to flash your ROM and flash the micro G apps before you do your first boot, usually. So just make sure you follow your guide to do whatever you were trying to do. So, like I said, free and open source apps are F-Droid. Aurora Store is Play Store, similar to the Play Store. And then Obtainium is a method they're trying to provide that lets you get your apps directly from developers. Some key apps you might want to try out. Vanadium is like Graphene OS's Google Chrome, just a real stripped down version of Chrome. You could use Brave or Firefox, Bitwarden, KeePass. I like Proton, Proton School as well. Aegis is good if you want a 2FA app. It supports backing up to a file, which you can move that file back to wherever you want to back it up. So that's a nice one. And Signal, Open Camera are some apps you can look into for messaging, or these are just apps that respect your privacy, and they make they're good if you're not using Google stuff. So here's some of the official resources. Just grapheneos.org, lineageos.org. They have comprehensive documentation with device-specific installation guides and warnings, and community forums, and they're very active on Reddit and their community forums. And so I definitely go to the forums, and they're invaluable for troubleshooting problems or getting the latest on the exact steps or something that might not make sense in a guide. And then privacyguides.org is interesting. It's just recommendations for privacy-focused apps and services, not just ROMs. F-Droid's the primary resource for open source apps. There's countless installation tutorials, but verify that you actually read the official documentation. And if you want to follow someone's install tutorial, take that with a grain of salt. I'd always recommend just doing the official documentation, because some people can have stuff that's old and outdated and doesn't apply anymore. Yeah, so just be specific about the device model you're using and the issue you're facing, and the communities are incredibly helpful. But like with any community, they would expect that you've read the docs first before you come asking for help. Especially because they probably spent a lot of time writing the docs to help people. And if you ask the question that they spent a lot of time explaining, who knows how they're going to react on any given day. Maybe they'll always be pretty good, nice about it, but somebody might get snarky with you. So how do you choose your ROM? I just thought I'd make this little decision tree. If you own a recent Pixel, Graphene. If you don't own a recent Pixel and Graphene isn't an option, go with Lineage. If you do own a Pixel and security is your top priority, go with Graphene. If you want root access or extensively customize, then go with Lineage. You can do Lineage on a Pixel, right? If you want. But if you just want privacy without hassle, Graphene wins. So it's Graphene for security, Lineage OS for freedom. Pretty straightforward, I'd say. And then yeah, I thought I'd just share this real quick. I started modding in 2009 with the Droid. That was a fantastic device that really, I'd say, kicked off all this. It was Motorola wasn't trying to hide too much of how it all worked. You could get access, so you can get all the way down to changing the modem, right? You could change everything about the phone. It was really fun times. I explored MIUI, which was this later became associated with that Xiaomi group, and now you can't get their phones, or you're not supposed to get their phones in the United States anymore, just because they had this. It was the opposite of privacy. It was just really fun to. It was really cool to see, like, what is Asia doing with these custom ROMs, and they had come up with so many cool ideas of community customization apps, and you could just people could just share ringtones they made, and but it was all like built into the ROM, so you could change the theme. Somebody could make a theme for you, and there was like this whole like marketplace thing that they had. It was pretty insane. But I eventually got a Pixel to run Graphene OS specifically, and then I just never looked back. It's rock solid. I rarely have issues. Updates are fast. Sandbox Play services are working for the apps that I need. If something I need doesn't have an app, typically they have a website, and the website works fine too. I do miss Google Pay. I didn't use it that much, but it was nice to be able to pay from your phone. I do have an iPhone as well. I just got that before I went to my last conference. It was out of the country, and I didn't, I'm willing to suffer with maybe some compromises on my phone here, but if I'm out of the country, I just wanted a phone to just work. I didn't know if the country I was going to had the right cell towers that would work with my phone, or I don't know. I just didn't want to have any issues, so I got an iPhone before I went over there, and the iPhone worked great. But I do miss having Root for tinkering. That's always fun. So I still like to tinker with Root and stuff on my older Pixel 4. So I don't really have to get rid of Lineage. I just have it on a different device, not my daily driver. So let's just wrap it up with some key points, right? Custom ROMs will extend your device lifespan. This is huge for reducing e-waste. Graphene OS is unmatched for security if you own a Pixel. Lineage OS gives you freedom and supports a whole bunch of devices. They're both excellent alternatives to stock Android. You're not getting that bloatware. You're not dealing with manufacturer abandoning their applications after a few years. Installation requires preparation and technical comfort, but it's doable. There are trade-offs, so think through what matters to you. And yeah, just there's no wrong choice, just as long as you've thought it through. Pick the one that matches your priorities and device. And then so this is the end of the formal presentation, but I can open up for questions. I thought I'd throw some discussion topics on common questions I get, which is like, will this work on my device? And we could look it up, or is it really safe to do this? And yeah, I mean, the only experience in all these years of me breaking a phone was Sailfish, and I haven't really had any issues with the Android open source project stuff.
Well, I see we've got some people with questions.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Richard, you want to go ahead with your question?
Yeah. Can I run this to see how it works on an emulator?
Interesting. I don't believe so. I think the emulator is running some sort of I can't remember which ones. I have used some emulators in the past. I guess it would depend on which emulator you're using. I haven't messed with that in quite a while, actually. I think the last time I was playing with that was probably like 4 years ago, and I was using this cool I don't remember what it's called right now. There's a Google Chrome extension that lets you run Android applications. You can take the APK file and you can run it. I've done that, but as I'm not sure what.
Inside Google Android?
So
OS?
in Google Chrome, they actually have a way where you can run Android applications just by installing it the Google Chrome
In the browser.
Yeah.
On a desktop machine you're talking about.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Right. Thank you.
Yeah, but as far as like actual Android emulator, like the one that comes with Android platform tools or any of that, I'd imagine the device would have to show up as in your ADB commands, right? And you'd have to be able to put it into its bootloader. And I mean, you could try. There's probably someone on YouTube who's tried. I don't know. I don't think I've ever tried it. I've always just put it on my phones. But that's a good point.
Yeah, I've got a couple questions for you, Roller.
Sure.
I've got a little Samsung tablet running Android. Does either one of these work on a tablet? Something that's not a real phone?
Oh, depends. We just have to go and check the wiki and see what exactly the device is.
I don't have it here in front of me, so I can't tell you. Android 6 something.
I mean,
Samsung 6 something, 6 Lite or Lite 6 or something. But
yeah, let me see if there's any tablets on here.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to work with Graphene OS. I know that. But
yeah, Lineage would be your best bet. And then let's see. They've got, I mean, Pixel tablet. Okay, let's try that one. So somebody's put it on a Pixel tablet, apparently.
Yeah, okay. So it could work.
Yeah.
Because I know you talk about bloatware, and this Samsung tablet is
the Samsung one
full of crap.
And it's already low powered enough as it is.
It's beyond low power. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It struggles doing little I got
booting up.
I got one of those like $150 ones off of.
Yep. That's what I have.
Off of Amazon.
Yeah, scroll further. Yeah, get down to the Samsungs. Let's just see if it shows up down there.
I put it in. Oh yeah, like A7.
Yeah, S6 Lite, I think is what I have.
Okay.
I see it. Well, it's a Galaxy Tab. Okay, so that could work, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I may try it
for it.
Yeah, I might just try that. Okay, another question. Once you do this, can you go back? Is there a path to get you back to the original OS?
Yes. That's what they recommend doing backups. You could either restore from a backup.
Okay, good.
Factory one that works, or you can usually go to the manufacturer and get the
download the image.
But depends on the manufacturer there.
Okay, but then you would just install that just like you were installing Lineage OS?
Yeah. And
using the tools.
And some of them have their own tools. Like for this Sailfish one, I had that concern. I wanted to go back from Sailfish, and this is the Sony 10-3. So like to go back to stock on here, it was they would tell you like, okay, how to flash, like you've got to go get this file, and well, anyways, freaking ads, but I have to fire up my VPN, but I don't know if that kicked me off. But anyway, there usually you would have to put your serial number in or your device ID or something for at least for Sony phones, and Sony will actually get you the file, and you can use the Sony tool, and the Sony tool will put your phone back.
All right, but there's a path to going back. Okay. And finally, is this all open source?
Mm-hmm.
This stuff. So can I build my own RAM images?
Yep.
Can I take take what they've done and tweak it and build a new image and load that?
Yep.
Cool. Have
Yep.
you done any of that?
I used to.
Okay.
I used to play with this stuff way back, but the problem that I kept finding was, and it becomes obvious really quick, is even the coolest ROM you've ever seen that made your phone look like R2D2 or something. It was way cool.
Yeah.
The developer just was doing that, right? They were customizing it slightly and making it kind of cool, and then they weren't doing anything further to fix that problem where the camera wouldn't work right, or fix that one thing. And to keep it going for a long time was just so labor intensive that they just kind of drop it. And so I was in that same boat too. It's like, I wanted to do this for my own things, but then how do I keep it going? And so that's why I eventually just fell into these two camps, and they're easy to keep it going, and then just customizing it after you have these installed is pretty nice. People have made it pretty cool. The theming options and everything, you can really get a lot of what you used to be able to do without having to hack it up too much.
Yeah, I'm not likely to ever actually build my own. I was just curious if you could.
Yeah.
And the camera, I understand camera support because a lot of the magic of cameras is not in the camera; it's in the software. And if you're not using the stuff from the device, from the manufacturer, you're mostly on your own to try to do anything.
So apparently this does have instructions for an emulator, and it will boot the boot animation.
Oh wow.
And
back to Richard's question.
Yeah.
Cool.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Emulator. Very nice.
I have a question.
Sure.
I'm wondering if you put one of these operating systems on, for example, the tablet that Jim was talking about. Have you had experience where you see that a lot of apps, especially when you're trying to display DRM protected material, like library apps and Audible, those kinds of things, do they not allow the playing of or displaying of content?
Right, use case specific, but you get I think the thing I noticed the most getting that iPhone a few months ago was how so used to I have just got so accustomed to everything being a workaround, or maybe there's a dead end and this just doesn't work. So I'm used to those type of things where I guess this isn't going to work. I'll have to figure out a different way to do it. But so it's definitely not going to be as streamlined as an iPhone where everything just works. You don't have to know about it. You probably will run into weird little things like that, specific use cases that don't quite work right. And there's always some big
codec issues.
Yeah, there's always some community here trying to solve the problem. So I know Graphene OS community, they do a lot of pushing to get people to realize they're doing some of these things wrong. Like where an app probably should support Graphene OS better actually than some of these other Androids. Like just because it's running stock doesn't mean it's more secure, right? It actually indicates maybe it have some vulnerable software on it. So they are trying to educate some of the community when they find an app that is blocking because it's detected. They're trying to you got to remember all those tools are built by Google, or Google's such a big marketing company that they are like, oh, we don't want people to take our data away from us and everybody to flash their phones. How can we make this a real pain if people do flash their phones? Let's go to all these big companies and let's make their applications just it's not like they had to have like a master scheme or anything. They just put out an API. They just go, hey, we've got this API that checks to see if the device is secure, and everybody goes, oh, that sounds like a good thing. We should use that API to make sure the device is secure. And then that's where Google is able to pull off their trickery, because they're like, hey, now we control the API that says if your device is secure, and here's how it works, and the developer can override some of that, but by default, it's
Well,
going to check to see if it's running one of our preferred things, and maybe their preferred thing isn't in your best interest, but it's installed on a lot of people's phones. So I don't know, like that's kind of how they do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, preferred from the viewpoint of the app creators and the content creators.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed, for example, when you were talking there, that I was reminded of Android. When you connect it up to a Linux computer and try to browse the file system, Android keeps you from viewing anything, any data that's been downloaded by an app. It's not even available for finding in the directory tree. So it does lock down the provider's content so that it's protected on the phone.
Yep.
What you can't find? I'm sorry.
Like for example, just for sake of discussion, Audible, you can't find the Audible files when you browse the file tree from a computer by connecting through USB. They're protected.
Yeah,
They're not.
You can't find them even when you're on the Android. Usually.
Right. Yes, because they're protected. Only the app is allowed to use them.
Right.
So with an open operating system, you would be able to do that, and I'm sure the app creators would not want you to do that, so they would probably deny your access to your own content.
Right. No, that makes sense. Yeah, so one app that I use a lot is called Termux, from F-Droid. This thing is great. It's just a terminal emulator that
on Linux, right?
Yeah, you can bash and CSH, and you can do package install and package update and get Vim, and basically just have a terminal on your phone that works really good. You can SSH and do whatever you want. So this thing is, and this actually has a command you can run for storage. So if you wanted to CD into your, because kind of like you were mentioning, is when you launch the app and you LS, you're not really seeing anything on the phone. You're just kind of in this like special sandbox type of environment. But if you want access to the files from the CLI, you can do the storage thing. I think it's just one command you run. Oh, sorry. I can't remember what the command is, but where's the storage one? I think it's just like an enable device storage. Oh, right there. Termux storage setup. So you just type Termux storage setup, and then it'll basically mount your storage under /storage. So if you CD into /storage shared, then you'll see, your pictures, storage music, and movies and all that. So this is pretty, and if you get you probably will get permission denied at the beginning. So you got to go allow Termux to have storage permissions, and then it'll work. So this is a pretty cool trick. Because some of these ROMs will come with their own terminal app, which is okay. But if you're going to use a terminal, you're going to want your tools, and Termux lets you get your tools, and you can package and you can install things. So, which is awesome.
Well, that's pretty neat. Any more questions? I think we're kind of near the end here. Thanks, Roller.
Is this going to be online? A PDF or XLS?
Well, Roller, if you want to send me your presentation, if you can turn it into a PDF or something, or provide a link to it.
I will. I'll ask Cursor to help me with that.
Yeah.
So
send it to me, and I'll put it up on the website.
Okay.
And then this presentation, I'm traveling this week, but next week I'll go ahead and edit the presentation and put it up on in the YouTube channel.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I built this. I built this with Cursor, and
Oh, did you?
yeah, I was seeing how I was like, hey, I want to make a presentation. What would it take to you know, what would it take to make a slide deck type of web
Mhm.
application in Python? And
Oh,
I
okay.
was able to pick all the tools that I like to use, and
Neat.
it even had a cool little presenter mode that I could do and everything. So it's
That's pretty
fun.
cool.
Yeah. So and it just came up with a cool plan for like
Sure.
what the phases should be, and then we just went through all the phases. Like here, I'll show you real fast. Where's my cursor? Cursor. So first I had to write this plan, foundations and setup, database and models, the core backend routes, the front end, the styling, the JavaScript, testing and everything. And then and then you can do something like a test reviews, like a little shortcut thing that I made. And that's kind of like telling it to go actually run on my computer, run Python -m PyTest, go run all the tests, see if and so all I did was do /test review, and that's doing a it's like a whole thing I told it of like what a test is supposed to be and everything. So like you're a
Wow.
professional QA test reviewer person. You you don't,
That's pretty neat.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this stuff's been fun. And this is the way to do it, right? Is to teach the thing, like what the workflow is and exactly how you want it to act, and you have to give it a ton of guidance, and then it'll work. But if
Right.
and make it write a plan, and with all your specifics in it and everything that it needs to do. And
that's pretty neat. I see a whole new presentation right there.
yeah, this is the new stuff. It's freaking. Let me show you this one thing. This is how you make it read the docs. You literally go to docs and you give it the docs of certain docs that you read, and then when you tell it to do something, you can just do an @ and type like fast API Chameleon.
Wow.
So you say like, when you're doing this, refer to these docs or whatever, and then it'll go read the docs for you. That's pretty
neat.
And then this is the rules thing. Yeah. Use Python. Use the latest syntax.
So that's pretty neat.
I will ask it to make a PDF of this.
Great.
And
Great.
for me.
Yeah, send me that and I'll put it up on the website. And thanks for doing the presentation. This is fantastic. I know it just sort of came up as an idea at the last meeting, and you turned it into a fantastic presentation.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so remember next month, December, I'm talking about IPv6. January, hopefully, we'll get a talk from my brother at JetBlue, talking about how they do internet and entertainment stuff on JetBlue airplanes. And of course, we're always looking for more stuff. If you have ideas, if you want to talk, let us know. And other than that, I think we're done.
I want to roller. How did you get the code in the chat? Is that Markdown 3 backticks?
Yes. 3 backticks, and then all of a sudden it'll let you put code into the chat.
That's so it's Markdown. Okay. I didn't know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, cool.
That works all across the board in Slack and Teams and all that.
Right. Well, thanks for coming, everybody. Really appreciate it. I'll try to get the video up on the YouTube channel next week when I get back in town.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys.